Welcome to Spine Chilling Chats podcast, where we like to spill the tea. If you're into the macabre and enjoy hearing about true crime, supernatural, or spooky experiences, pull up a chair, pour yourself a cup of tea, and get ready for some spine chilling chats with Manda and Ange.
Hi to all the spooks out there. I'm Ange.
And I'm Manda.
If this is your first time listening to us, welcome. We're so glad that you're here.
Yes.
If this isn't your first time, I think this makes us BFFs now.
Right? I think so too.
Today we are going to finish up our haunted history of Mackinac Island with part 2. So if you haven't listened to part 1, you might want to go listen to that and then come back for part 2. It's fine. We'll wait for you. Just kidding. Pause that shit. I guess let's get to it.
Let's go.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the drowning pool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not the band, though.
No.
Okay.
The drowning pool is located between Mission Point Resort in the downtown area. In the late 1700s to early 1800s, many brothels sprang up around the island. Getting a little red light action here.
Yeah, getting a little spicy.
But as history has shown us time and time again, men love to use women as scapegoats and not take responsibility for their actions.
Oh, man, do they ever. And you guys can come at me for that, because I've been a victim of men being bitches. So,
yeah.
I'm not a man-hater, but I guess I wouldn't say victim, but I have been a person that have
Men treat you
like shit, or make it, they say something and I defend myself and then they turn it around on them. Like, you know, like a narcissist. So
yeah.
Again, you can come at me for that because I don't give a shit. I said what I said.
Don't fuck with her.
Nope.
The men found in the establishments quickly pointed their accusing fingers at the women working for their lapse of moral integrity. They claimed a witchcraft must have been used to seduce these respectable men.
Of course.
Insert eye roll right here.
How dare they?
I know, because they wouldn't ever just, go because they
on
want
their own free will.
They want to get off,
No, it's got to be the woman's fault.
Yep, they seduced them. Those naughty women. The drowning pool was used during the trial of these women to prove they were witches.
I think I heard, not this story, I think I heard something like this.
Yeah, there's been...
Where they say they thought that the people were witches, so they threw them in the water tied up, and if they could come out, then they were witches, but if they drowned, they were witches.
That's exactly this. They tied rocks around their ankles and threw them into this little lagoon. If they floated, they would be deemed witches and most likely hanged. If they sank, they were considered innocent, but unfortunately also dead.
Right.
There was no winning once accused of being a witch.
Nope.
The drowning pool is said to be haunted by 7 women who were drowned there in the name of justice. Many people claim of hearing splashing in the water, but the surface will be still, no ripples in sight. Figures and shadows have been seen hovering over the water or sometimes just below the surface, forever tethered to this place where they were wrongfully murdered for trying to provide for their families. That's fucked up.
That's very fucked up. They're just trying to provide, and this is how they get treated.
This is a story found in the book Haunts of Mackinac by Todd Clements.
Check it out.
Yep. He's got a whole book of these stories. He's worth a read. The area in front of Mission Point has served several purposes over the years. Indigenous people used the location as both a summer home and as burial ground. During the last century, it has, at one time or another, been a part of the moral rearmament movement. Mackinac College and Mission Point Resort, like we said in our past episode.
Yep.
However, according to local legend, it was originally used as a gathering place for the giant fairies.
Oh my. So not only do we have witches, but now we have giant fairies.
Yeah, which seems like an oxymoron because fairies are
Fairies
supposed to
are
be
tiny.
little. But these are giant fairies.
Were they nice?
We're going to get there.
Okay.
The legendary tale is this. Indigenous people have long regarded Mackinac Island as the former home to an ancient race of giants. Today, all that remains of that race is the giant rock formations into which they were transformed. The last time the giants were reportedly seen by human eyes was sometime in the 1800s. The last person to witness these giants' final gathering was a teacher at the Mission House School. The teacher remains anonymous, so yeah, I don't know.
Right. Is it legit or not?
It makes me a little iffy when we don't have a name to the story.
Right.
But the story he told is remarkable. As the teacher's story goes, he was sitting on the porch at Mission House enjoying the end of a beautiful day when suddenly he saw giants descend from the cliffs behind the school. They were gathering on the grass near the lake, dressed in elaborate gowns and capes made of butterfly wings, feathers of rare plumage, and other exotic materials. He stated that what he witnessed was amazing and otherworldly. The event the teacher was about to witness was a wedding of mythical proportions. The field became vibrant when enormous fireflies colorfully lit up the festivities and the flowers turned silver as a tent. The ceremony began.
I'm starting to think that these people were normal height and the professor and all the other people were little. Because fireflies being giant too? Come on.
I'm thinking somebody just got a little...
Hit the hooch too much.
Yeah. He was seeing things all right. Truly, this was a sight to behold. As the night progressed, the giants ran out of wine. The teacher, not wanting the party to end, threw a bottle of his own wine to the giants.
And what's that going to do since he's tiny and they're giants?
Well, you just wait.
Okay.
As the bottle reached them, it grew to the size of a hogshead.
Oh, imagine that.
The bottle frightened the giants, and one of them approached the teacher. "Thou art mortal, a human brother. We are the remnants of the first children of the earth. Our race is nearly extinct. As living creatures tonight, we pass away, yet do not entirely leave the earth, but take shape and dwell in the rocks and boulders, cliffs and mountains. We have never yet allowed a mortal to keep his eyes after looking upon our gatherings. But as this is to be our last meeting, and as thou hast a good heart, and hast wished to prolong our cheer, thou art welcome to come among us without fear of harm," said the giants.
Well, that was a good voice. That was a good giant voice.
Thank you. The teacher accepted the invitation as one would.
Right. I would accept it, but I also have this thing. So tonight was their last night on the earth, but they were getting married and having this festival.
Yeah.
What? I wouldn't want to get married and then leave the earth.
Well, what better way to have a honeymoon than
I guess.
being rock hard?
Ba-dum-bum.
I'm sorry. The teacher accepted the invitation. The teacher danced with the giants and even the bride. Which, how is he dancing if they're giants?
Exactly. Did he grow too magically?
Maybe. He drank and partook of all their festivities. Suddenly, it began to rain, and the giants ran away. The teacher screamed, "A deluge!" and woke to find himself lying in the grass near the water. There was no sign of the giants, no fireflies, no flower tent, nothing. Instead, the teacher, who was surrounded by an abundant supply of empty wine bottles, peered up at the mission housekeeper, who was now holding an empty water pail. For days, the school teacher sat on the porch with a large supply of wine, with hopes that the giants would return. They never did. The giants had left to become the large rocks and spires of cliffs we see today.
Yeah, I think he was hitting the hooch a little too much.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
little too hard there.
Yep, I think he was seeing stuff, but it wasn't really there.
Again, it's an anonymous person, so it's already questionable.
Yeah. But like I said, I'm not going to judge these tales. Who am I to judge whether they're true or false? We're just going to enjoy them.
Yep.
The Island House Hotel was built in 1852, making it the oldest hotel on Mackinac Island. The hotel started as a humble beach house. In 1865, the hotel was sold to Captain Van Allen, who undertook a significant feat by relocating the hotel 300 feet further from the shoreline to its current location today. So he up and moved a whole fucking house.
By himself?
Well, not by himself.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure he had a team of people that
helped
raised it and like put stuff and rolled it back.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
He knew that the hotel would be destined for regrowth and expansion. After the captain's passing in 1892, his daughter, Mrs. Rose Van Allen Webster, assumed the proprietorship for the Island House Hotel. She and her husband pushed forward with the enhancements her father had dreamed of. In 1895 and 1912, the east and west wings of the hotel were added to create more space for the growing number of tourists drawn to Mackinac Island. There have been reports of a ghostly presence named Charlie in the hotel, who supposedly died there a long time ago, but decided to stay in the hotel. Charlie doesn't appear to be hostile and typically doesn't pay much attention to the guests anyway. However, there have been claims of furniture moving throughout the building, and on a few rare occurrences, he's even appeared to visitors. Room 409 supposedly is a hot spot for activity, but not a lot of detail of what that activity includes was available for me to find.
We need details, people.
Yeah, it's just, it's a hot spot. Can't tell you what happened, but
I'll tell you
something happened.
Yeah.
Pine Cottage was built in 1870 and has played host to some notable people like Ty Cobb, a famous Major League Baseball player for the Detroit Tigers, and American novelist Ernest Hemingway, who both actually spent their honeymoons at the bed and breakfast. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
One story of Pine Cottage is that a murder took place there in 1942. There are many versions of the story, but I was unable to locate any newspaper articles or eyewitness accounts confirming this, but the main idea of the story is that a woman was murdered by a, quote, large man.
Narrows it down.
Yeah. Little else is known, and the case was apparently never solved. Regardless of the murder's validity, Pine Cottage is still considered to be one of the more haunted locations on the island, with 3 or 4 different entities residing within its walls. A majority of the activity has been reported to have occurred in the fall, when spooky senses are on high alert.
Oh, yeah.
The known ghosts that inhabit the Pine Cottage are named Creature, the man, the woman, and the little girl.
Oh, so creative.
Not very creative, but it does give you a picture in your head. The Creature is said to look like a man, but hunched over with horns lining its back. Not many have seen this entity, but a former owner of Pine Cottage stated that he had a fight with his wife and went to sleep in a different room. He woke up in the middle of the night when his blankets were pulled away from his body. Looking around for the cause, he spotted the Creature at the end of the bed staring at him. The man then hastily returned to his own bedroom, where he spent a sleepless night with his wife and never was bothered by the Creature again. I'm wondering if this guy had sleep paralysis.
Maybe. Because, I don't know. Like, he got up and moved, though.
But after the Creature left.
Oh. I don't know. I would have been up and out of that room in a heartbeat.
Me too. And no. I would have been underneath my covers.
Oh, yeah, because if you cover up, they can't see you anymore.
Right.
And they're not there.
But it stole its blankets. His blankets That's why he woke up, because they were ripped from his bed.
Yeah, they were.
So he couldn't even hide under. Oh, that's terrifying.
Maybe he did have sleep paralysis, or maybe it's just if I stand really, really still, I'll disappear and nobody can see me.
I don't know.
So maybe he just sat there really still.
I don't know.
Whatever happened, it worked.
I don't know what I would do.
I don't either.
Honestly.
I mean, look what I did. I fucking grabbed a gun and went searching through my whole house. Like, that's what I did. I jumped into action.
I don't know what I would do in that situation.
Oof.
I guess if I thought it was somebody and not a spirit,
Right.
I would go ready to kick some ass because my kid's here.
And we just took self-defense classes, so we know
sure
what
did.
we're doing.
Yep. Notre Dame gave us
Don't fuck with us.
a free self-defense class, and I think the dude was impressed with my power.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He even did like the Catholic little cross thingy.
Yep. I remember seeing him do that.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna knock this old man on his ass.
I mean, that's not really saying much if he's old.
No. The apparition, called the Woman, is believed to be the person who was supposedly murdered in 1942. She is said to frequent room number 4. One owner was going into room number 4 with his dog when a woman rushed out of the closet, past him, and went out the window. The strange thing about the woman was she had no visible legs and appeared to be flying. After witnessing the event, the dog refused to enter that room again. That dog was like, I'm fucking out of here.
Yep. Get me the fuck away from this
Nope.
room.
Not happening.
Nope.
She has repeated many of the same actions, making her seem like a historical repeater, but she has also done things that are not repeated. For instance, she will check on guests. She's never shown any malice, just a restless spirit wandering the bed and breakfast for eternity.
I don't know if I'd want to do that. I don't want to be stuck anywhere. I want to be able to travel.
Yeah.
Because even as a ghost, I can be like, you know what? I don't have any fucking responsibilities. I don't have to pay for anything. I can just fucking go wherever I want. So I'd go somewhere warm, to the beach. I'd go to other countries. Like,
You never hear about a ghost at a beach, though.
no. Why?
I don't
Is their
know.
pasty pale? No. I don't know. But that's true. So I'd be that ghost at the beach. Look at me.
Yeah, I don't know. The entity known as the Man has been rumored to be the killer of the woman who also haunts the building. They're making this just too convenient.
Yeah.
Which it makes me then think, this isn't true.
Right.
But that just might be my skeptic side. I don't know. His activity is more frequent than that of the creature. He likes opening and slamming doors, having heavy footsteps, voices, and sometimes even appears in full body apparition. He does seem to be angry, though, swearing in a coarse voice. It is theorized that he is a historical repeater, playing out an argument he had while he was alive. The most active ghost at Pine Cottage, though, is known as the Little Girl. She has been described as a sad young girl with big eyes and long blonde hair. She has been seen throughout Pine Cottage and is seen across the street playing the piano at Chateau Lorraine, which is the building staff live in. We can only speculate why the little girl moves between Pine Cottage and Chateau Lorraine. Some passerbyers have seen her looking out the windows of Pine Cottage's attic. A neighbor of Pine Cottage once claimed the little girl was the daughter of a couple who once lived there. The parents were to have been heavy drinkers. As the story goes, the girl was left behind at Pine Cottage when her parents moved to Detroit and died shortly after. Since then, her ghost has been seen weeping, and if she is asked what is wrong, she will reply, "Mommy, I want to come home."
Aww.
Yeah, isn't that heartbreaking?
That's very heartbreaking.
Like, how could even if this, I'm going to assume it's true. Like, how could you leave your baby behind?
Right. Mine's a 19 and I still freaking...
Are obsessed with him?
Yes. Like, where are you going? What are you doing? Like, you can't do that. I can't tell him that I can't do that. He's 19, Like, yeah, I still... What does he... Smother him.
Yeah.
But back to the guy ghost, the man ghost. It says that he was heard reenacting an argument. That must have been some argument if he's still reenacting it. Because, like, don't you get into arguments with people and then, like, you're in the shower the next day and you're like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I should have said that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you replay the argument. Like, I do that sometimes. I'm like, oh, that would have been great to say. I should have said that.
But why didn't I think of that? Yeah.
Right. So it must have been one hell of an argument for him to be reenacting it every single day.
For eternity. Yeah. I wonder what it was about.
Me too. He must have been really pissed at somebody.
I don't know. These have been just a small fraction of the haunted stories of Mackinac Island. I had such a hard time writing this one. While I really enjoy listening to ghost stories and have chills go down my spine, it's beyond frustrating to me not being able to find proof of any of these. Almost all of these stories have been deemed legends, no more than stories passed down over and over again through time. I prefer being able to look up facts and see it at least a thread of truth coming, confirming parts of this story. The only story I could confirm was that of the 1960 murder. There were newspaper articles discussing it. We had first and last names. I've also never had any sort of paranormal experience, so I am a bit more naturally skeptical anyways. I think it would be frightening and exhilarating to have an experience, but until then, I'll just enjoy them for entertainment purposes.
Yeah. I've had the experience, and let me tell you, I don't know if I'd ever want another experience.
I do. I want one bad.
At least have one in your life. Got to have one.
But I read somewhere that it only happens to people who don't want it.
And you want it too much.
And I want
so maybe
it.
you
So
should just give up.
It's never going to happen.
No, just give up. And then maybe you'll get one.
But see, again, I was raised to fear ghosts and stuff because my parents raised me to believe that ghosts are not ghosts, they're demons trying to trick you to gain access into you. And so I don't know, I've always kind of just shunned away from it made me, I want to experience it, but then I also secretly terrified of it also because that was so ingrained in myself at a young age, to fear this stuff. But
that it's not okay and it's not
but
real.
But the curiosity, it draws me to it.
Yeah, well, because we're fucked up.
Yeah. I would love to just go to a cemetery at night. We did that a lot when we had one of my brother's best friends growing up. He was staying with us for a little bit after Robbie and I got married. He was living here. And we actually started a little paranormal activity group.
I remember that.
IMPS, Indiana, Michigan Paranormal Society. We even made little business cards. And we would go around to the local cemeteries and we would record with our old school cell phones because they were flip phones at that time because it was so long ago. 20 years ago almost.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun.
I remember that. Well, and we didn't have any, also we weren't there at dark, nighttime. We didn't have anything happen when we went to Salem.
No.
But you could definitely feel a difference in the atmosphere. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
You didn't feel it?
Maybe I'm just closed off to everything. I've never walked in a place and gotten the chills.
See, and I have.
Nothing's ever felt scary to me.
I've walked into places where I instantly knew something wasn't right. Something was going on. I had this gut feeling it just was not okay. Nothing ever happened, but you have that. So that could also be, you have this gut feeling about a person who's sitting in front of you who's going to shoot up the place or kidnap you. You have those gut feelings. But you also have those feelings, those same feelings when you feel some sort of energy in your vicinity, And I've had those feelings when we were in Salem. I had feelings we were walking where these witches walked, where they were hung, where they were buried, where they were burned, And I could just feel. I could feel those things. I couldn't feel them getting burned and stuff, but I could feel that there were people there. And I don't know. I just can't explain it.
I've never felt anything like that.
Really?
No, and I'm so jealous because I want to.
I don't know.
Maybe I need to do.
Maybe it's my sixth sense.
Maybe we should like cleanse you. Maybe,
I don't want to be cleansed.
Yeah, but
I want to have those feelings and instincts and give me the heebie-jeebies kind of thing. I want that because I think it's cool and it's a part of me. I don't want to change me. You know,
I'm so jealous.
It's a gift.
It's a gift.
What can I say?
Well, maybe you, because I was talking to you about getting the oracle cards and trying them out. Maybe you should. Maybe you'll have
better
an affinity for it since you're already more
apt to all that stuff.
And tuned with that kind of energy, whereas I'm
blank.
I
got nothing.
I'm like Bella Swan. I have no
anything.
I'm just a shield.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely interesting having those feelings. And you can also have a feeling when you walk into a room and you read the room and you have these feelings of calmness and you're just like, yeah, this is a good place to be. And you just have that feeling, you just overwhelm you. Or See, sadness.
I've had the calming, but that's usually like when I go into a library.
Oh no.
It's just me being a nerd.
No. Or like the sadness. Like I guess I'm
place.
too empathetic where I feel what other people are feeling.
See, but I'm a very empathetic person. Like, because, man, my sister had some dental work done and she was in a lot of pain and she was just telling me about it. And my sister and I have had
your ups and downs.
Sometimes it's difficult being sisters.
Yes, it is.
But like I felt so bad for her, and like I started tearing up because she was in pain.
Right.
And like I.
But is that because she's your sister or because you're empathetic?
It doesn't go hand in hand.
But if I told you I was in a lot of pain and I had my teeth worked, would you have cried?
Of course.
That's because I'm your best friend. Yeah. What if it was like some stranger?
No, even a stranger.
Okay.
I don't like seeing people in pain.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, you're empathetic, but maybe you're just on the surface.
I'm just nice.
You're just on the surface.
I'm just a nice person. I'm not.
I cry
spooky.
Everything. Like I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, your voice starts shaking, and you start to get like teary eyed, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And it wasn't about anything serious. Like it just happens.
I've noticed, man, since my parents are starting to get older, like it's morbid, I know, but I am thinking about their death more and more. And like, I just, like right now I could cry because I'm thinking about my parents dying.
Yes.
And it's so like,
I don't want it to happen.
They're not ill or anything.
No.
It's just,
and they're healthy.
It's just, I know that someday they're
it's gonna happen.
Leave,
mm-hmm.
and it terrifies me.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it's got to happen.
Oh yeah, it's inevitable.
It's just, man.
I think about that stuff all the time. My dad almost died twice. I know that feeling all too well. And when it actually happens, I already know how I'm going to act. I already know how I'm going to react. Like my dad had some troubles. He had some troubles in the past. He was kind of absent for a little bit, but like since he's came back and he's good now, and he almost died twice while he was good, not when he was absent and stuff. He's like the best person ever, and I would never want anything to happen to him. And I always think about that, like he could have died, not once but twice, and he could still pass away at any moment.
Any of us could.
Yeah,
and that's terrifying.
Or when I can just see him getting older and he's gonna die, like that's my dad. I mean, I still feel the same way about my mom, but my mom and I have gotten kind of distant in the past recently, and since my dad's been back, like he's
been your rock.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was like my mom used to be the helpful one with the kids and like with my sister's kids and things like that with us, she would be there and my dad would be absent. Well, my dad's the one that's there for all the kids now and for us, and my mom's the one that's kind of being absent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love them both, but I think about my dad dying more than I think about my mom, and I get more upset about my dad dying than I do my mom. And that's really terrible to say. But like, I don't know. It's fucked up.
See, I'm really close with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, he's always been there, but he never took like a real active role with us kids.
Okay.
It's been mostly he was present, but like not like my mom was.
Right,
like
right,
my
right.
mom did everything for us.
Right.
Basically, she was our mom.
She was super mom.
Yeah. And I would be absolutely crushed if my mom were to pass, and I would be, you know, of course upset for my dad too. But yeah, it would.
It would be devastating.
My mom is one of my best friends.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. I get that.
But then again, you know, if my dad were to pass, my mom would be absolutely lost, and you know that would be a whole nother like
Heartbreak.
Yeah, I would feel heartbroken for her because
Her partner's gone.
her best. She's been with him since they were teenagers. They got married when she was 17 and he was 19. Like it's been them against the world forever. And I don't know how we got on this tangent.
I don't either. But now you guys know a little bit about our life. I'm sure there'll be more.
Yeah. But anyways, we hope to do more of these spooky
haunting things. And also, again, please send us your haunted stories so we can, you know, and if you don't mind, we can say them on air. And if you don't want your name mentioned, just let us know. We'll
change your
name or just omit it, and we'll just tell your story.
Yep. You can send those emails to spinechillingchatspodcast@gmail.com. We also have a Facebook page, so check us out there. We're on YouTube, so you can subscribe to our channel on there.
And listen to us, not see us.
Yeah. Although we were talking about possibly doing a little haunted video in October.
Yes.
To go stay the night at a haunted hotel.
Yes.
And we might do that and record it as a video.
So then you'll see our faces and you'll know what we look like.
Yeah.
And then we can have people be fangirls over us.
I want a fangirl.
I want a fangirl too. Not a crazy one though.
I'm okay with a crazy one.
I'm not.
I'll take what I can get.
You can't be picky.
Yeah. But again, we appreciate all the support you guys have been showing us.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell your friends who are into the spooky stuff to listen to us too.
Plus, like, we just talk about random stuff. This is our life. And sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it's boring, but most of the time it's real. Not most of the time, it's always real. It's always real. We're real people. So, you know, and that's what makes us cool. I think we're genuine.
Yeah.
So listen to us. Tell your friends.
Yeah. Come back.
We love you guys.
All right. Well, we hope you come back, and we hope you
keep it spooky.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on Spine Chilling Chats, your go-to podcast for all things murder, paranormal, and macabre. Keep sipping that spooky tea and diving into the darkness with us. If our tales have sent chills down your spine, don't forget to hit subscribe and share with your fellow lovers of the haunting and horrific. See you next time, and remember to keep it spooky.